we are obviously coming to the end of the Big 12 season. So who would your pick? I'll give you the men. I'll tackle the women. Who would your pick for the Big 12 Player of the Year be?
Well, I think both of those are real slam dunks, player and coach. Jalen Wilson, Kansas forward, leading the Big 12 in scoring 20 points per game, rebounding over 8. And plus they won the title. I mean, that's a pretty easy pick. And I think Coach of the Year is even easier. Jerome Tang should probably be National Coach of the Year. They were picked last in the Big 12. They had 2 players back. He pretty much had to reform that whole roster. And he's got the fans really excited up there. You've probably seen his dancing on the tabletops and, singing with the crowd after the game. But yeah, he's done an amazing job there.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we've talked obviously a lot about Coach Tang and the job that he's done, all season. And you're right. He deserves national attention, not just Big 12 attention, just for the turnaround that he did there in the very first season. So for me on the women's side, I wrote about it in my column this week, but I really went into Austin kind of ready to coronate, Rori Harmon as the Player of the Year. And she didn't play well in that game against Baylor, but that to me wasn't the reason. I've kind of waffled now on that. She was a little bit of I wouldn't say a little bit of an out there pick, but just like if you just look at the stats on the women's side, the stat wise, it's Ashley Jones at Iowa State. She's a 20-point scorer. She gets rebounds. She's a shooter. Iowa State's a good team. All of that. But to me, Rory was as Nikki Collin described her, the head of the snake for Texas. That she was the one that made them go. She's a great defender. Passer. She's among the national leaders in assists. She does not shoot from the outside. And that's, kind of a hole in her game, but she can get to the basket and she's still very, very effective, even though she's not a 3-point shooter. She is one of the best point guards in the country. Like I said, had a rough game. She had 12 points, but was like 5 of 18. To me, that didn't really affect my thinking at all. But after the game, I thought it was a little alarming that she really threw her teammates under the bus. And I'm sitting over there transcribing, John, and I'm still catching the Texas press conference. Fortunately, Baylor went first, so I'm doing my thing, but I'm listening to what they're saying. And when she was saying all this stuff, I was just like, because she was like, basically, I played hard. I'm disappointed that nobody else played hard. I mean, and I was just thinking, man, that first of all, you still have a chance to win this thing. You have another game left. You're going to need those teammates. And I don't know. I mean, to me, it's something maybe you say in the locker room, but I just can't imagine saying it to the media. And I don't know. It did not scream leadership to me. And that was kind of the way I was going with my thinking, that she was their leader. So all that to say, that's a long-winded way of saying, I think I'm going Ashley Jones. Because she is good. And I will say, to me, there isn't a slam dunk this year in that award for the women's game. I mean, I think you could make a case for several different players. I mean, Gabby Gregory at Kansas State's a really good player. Breamber Scott at Texas Tech's a really good player. Those teams aren't as good, so I think that hurts their candidacy. Tiana Jackson at Kansas is among the national leaders in rebounds and block shots. However, Baylor, when they played her twice, pretty much shut her down. So to me, I don't think her case is as strong. But Ashley Jones is really good, and you can't go wrong there. As far as coach of the year on the women's side, I so obviously, if Texas goes on and wins it, Vic Schaefer's going to get a lot of consideration. But to me, the coach of the year is J.C. Hoyt. She is a first year coach at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And they've just been infinitely better in her first season there in Stillwater. I've had them ranked in the top 25 the last few years. They won here at Waco. Hadn't done that in a while. They're just, in her first year, she's essentially, got them right at the top, near the top of the conference. And it's been quite a turnaround. So, maybe less heralded than Jerome Tang. I mean, obviously, he's got his up near the top 10 in the country, but certainly a really good coaching job in her first season. So I think JC Hoyt would probably get my vote for coach of the year, but certainly, like I said, if Texas does finish it off, you can make a case for Vic. I mean, he's done a good job there. This is his third season, and they have gone to 2 Elite Eights in his first 2 years, and obviously have another good team this season.